Hello traders and welcome in a new daily market analysis video. Today is the 17th of May and this video is brought to you by the market research team at BU Prime. Today we have a couple of things to look for on the economic agenda as well as some really good opportunities on the charts as per the technical analysis. So let's have a quick look in this video. Please stay tuned. The economic agenda shows some really positive numbers that has been released from the British economy, which is regarding the average earnings index plus bonus for the month of March, as well as the claimant count change for the month of April. Going forward, the key things that we will be looking for today is basically the retail sales numbers from the US economy, which is to be announced at 12:30 GMT, as well as the speech from the ECB President Christine Lagarde, as well as Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. Both are expected to give some speeches today about the monetary policy, of course, inside the European zone as well as the United States. So this might affect the markets and might give higher than usual volatility. So please take care. By the end of the day, we do have the GDP. Basically, it is by the beginning of the Asian session, the GDP, or the gross domestic product from the Japanese economy, which is something that we will need to look for the first quarter of 2022. That was all for the economic agenda. Let's have a quick look on the technical analysis and the charts. In yesterday's video, we mentioned on the US dollar index that basically the key level that we will be looking for is 104.50. We mentioned that those levels is basically the key supports by the beginning of the week. And once we break and hold our trading below, we will be having our targets set around the 104 and 110 points on the US dollar index. Basically, we had this brilliant downward move. And at the moment, yes, we are still bearish on the very short term, but basically we expect that this downward move on the dollar index will be targeting the levels of 103.40. This is the key support that we will be looking for, because on the 30 minutes time frame, we can see here that the US dollar index is starting to show some bullish divergence. So the downward move on the price is not basically confirmed on the momentum indicator. So if you haven't yet shorted the dollar index from yesterday, so I think it's a little bit too late. We will be watching the US dollar index around those levels of 103.40, which on the 4-hour time frame is basically a key support. We will be looking for some bullish price action from here to continue our medium term technical view on the dollar index, which is basically bullish. And from here, whenever we have some bullish price action, we will be adding to our long positions. Going forward on the euro versus the US dollar, it's quite basically the same. We're having this upward move. However, again, on the 30 minutes time frame, we are having this what seems to be some bearish divergence here. So for the euro versus the US dollar, the levels of 1.0530 is something we should look for, because basically this brilliant downward move that happened basically on the 12th of May was basically initiated from those levels. So it's a strong resistance. We might have those 30 or 40 pips to the upside to confirm this bearish divergence, and then we'll be having some bearish price action from here to continue the move downwards. The euro versus the pound, we mentioned in yesterday's video the levels of 0.8527. We mentioned that those levels is basically key on the euro. It might end the correction to continue moving lower, and basically we had this brilliant downward move from those levels around 130 pips that we mentioned and we had in yesterday's video. And yes, we still stick to the same view on the euro pound. Any downward move or any upward move, any correction to the upside is basically a good opportunity to short the euro versus the pound. The targets that we are having is basically just around 0.8367. So it's not quite so far away. We are just talking about 35 pips. However, any upward move, any correction to the upside, another 40 pips, and then you might maybe short to the downside of 70 pips. So we are still bearish. However, again, it's a little bit too late to short unless we have an upward correction. Going forward and having a look on the gold trading, we basically respected the levels of support on the 4-hour time frame as well as the daily time frame, and we're having this brilliant upward move which is really supported by momentum. However, during the day, just because on the 30 minutes time frame momentum is no longer on our side, we are having this really strong bearish momentum, so we might have a retracement back to the 1810 and 1811 levels before heading to the upside one more time. So on the short time frame, we are basically bullish on the gold to target the levels of 1850. However, on the very short time frame and during the day, we might have this downward move to add to our long positions again and target the levels of 1850. And ending our video with the US crude oil, basically we mentioned that we will be waiting for the US oil around the levels of 115, and we will be waiting for some bearish price action from here to short back to 95, the levels of $95. We had this brilliant upward move. However, again, the momentum is no longer on our side. It's showing a sideways move, and of course on the 30 minutes time frame it is showing that we couldn't have any upward movement. So from here, please take care and watch the US crude oil. Any bearish price action, I'm talking about an engulfing candle, a shooting star, a hanging man, all of those bearish candlesticks basically should be our short entry to short the US crude oil back to the levels of 104.25 and then 95 directly. And of course we'll be updating this opportunity on our daily videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll meet again in tomorrow's video. Please stay safe.